For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm giving you kind of a sort of review video on a product from Isabella. So with me here today I've got the Isabella Shade Sun Canopy. So the Shade Sun Canopy is a really nice versatile, as it kind of suggests, additional shade you can add on to, it can be actually fit kind of caravans, or also fit camper vans as well. So it's really nice and flexible in the way, so you've got one of both, perfect for both situations. So currently I have it pitched on my little kind of camper van here. But this is what it kind of looks like when you've also got it pitched on a caravan. So one of the favourite things kind of about the shade is just the simplicity of it. What we're looking at here is essentially a roof and a front with using Isabella's, again, classic 195 gram Isolite fabric. So it's a really nice acrylic fabric here, but we've got really nice clear, crystal clear PVC windows, which are really good substance as well. The overall pack size is, quite small for what you're paying. The main thing is obviously due to the sort of Carbon X poles. So we've got like a fiberglass pole system. It's very lightweight, but they are solid. So it tends to come in two bags, one for the poles and then one for the canvas. So you can store that separately. And obviously weight and space are quite crucial when it's into a small little camper van. In a caravan, it's merely not as important, but the actual only weight of the whole component together is about 5.6 kilograms. So it's a really light fabric, and which again, when you're feeding it through the awning rail or onto the camper van, it takes a lot of that kind of strenuous part out of it. Now, depending on obviously how high you're attaching on, it depends on how deep it can potentially be. So the attachment heights basically vary from about 210 to 260. So there is a variance. I mean, in theory, you can probably go above. What you'd just be restricted about is the poles it's set at the front here as well, and then the angle. Now, it runs really about sort of about 2.5 meters deep or there and abouts. But like I said, it very much depends on how high you go to how high the roof goes and how front you want the panel. And the joys of when you're on the upper end of the scale is obviously you can increase the height of the poles up or down, and then that will actually mean you can change the panel sort of slantiness, if you will. So you can kind of orientate it to whatever wind or weather conditions you kind of do have. So as standard, you get obviously two upright poles, and what you've also got is a ridge pole on the inside here as well, which you can also tension. So structurally, it's very strong against sort of wind, whereas not you kind of just a simple two steel poles and relying on the guide points. It's a lot more structurally strong. So again, actually that's really quite strong. And the guy ropes, which you also get included. So these are the Typhoon kind of straps. Just add a bit more support. So that's pretty that's pretty rock solid. Yeah. In terms of how it attaches to the actual awning itself, so you have a 6mm beading, so it'll fit into a caravan rail or normal sea rail. Admittedly, if you've got a wind out, then you might have to change that over. You can do so either via a fixing kit, which isn't going to be as weather tight, or Isabella can sew on a 4mm strip onto that, so you can fit it directly into a wind out awning if you have a 4mm on the beading. The attachment from basically the width of the caterer is 1.92, so 192 centimeters. The joys of that means actually even like a small little caddy van, in theory you could put that on there. As long as you've got a sea rail on it, it's quite a small little attachment, but it's just enough that you can obviously, it will cover the front and back of a normal sliding door. You can still open the sliding door within it, and obviously because you can change the pitch of the roof, you can also make it a bit higher. The crucial thing is not to have it too flat, otherwise the water will naturally pool. So you do want to slope down from one to another, hence why there is kind of a minimum height. I mean, you probably could get away with going below the sort of 2-meter mark, but personally, you are then going to come into other issues. But from a sunshade, it works really nicely. Beautiful, kind of high quality, crystal clear PVC windows, and also you've got elasticated pegging points on the bottom as well. All of the, as we would know and love and respect with Isabella, everything's done, to the nth degree. The workmanship of the material they use is brilliant. The stitching and the flag stitching in the corners on all the main string pegging points is important, and even on the side pegging point here, the main two corners, which is probably take most of the grunt of the whole tension, you've got two there reinforced. We've done a little pitching video as well, showing you how simple and easy it was to pitch. I think it took me the best part of like 5 minutes, if that 6 minutes. There's a lot of waffling and talking involved, so apologies about that. But it's just going through the process, and like I say, it can be easily done by one person itself. But for me, it's the handle. I mean, this is I mean, I borrowed this off the Isabella reps just to do this video, and he has one and uses one all the time and absolutely loves it. He's got, I think he's got a V Dub, and it's a brilliant little additional bit of canopy space. You can sit out here with a table and chairs, works quite nicely. Funny enough, I'm going to a show this weekend and taking this away with me, I think, just to give that extra bit of space. Nothing too intrusive, but that just deflecting that wind, and certainly when you don't want wind when you've got to leave the door open piling into the actual van or the caravan for that matter. And I think that we've got one on display in the showroom, and I think it works nicely with a few chairs and just creates a real nice sociable area. If you wanted that next step in terms of getting a bit more sealed, of course you can look at putting a windbreak or something around it, but that works generally quite nice on the whole. Oh, but in fact, let's bring the camera around and have a little bit more of a look up close with some of the in touches and details of the shade. So, first thing we'll look at is obviously the depth itself. You look at how it's currently shown. Good sort of depth. I have got a bit probably flatter on the roof than I should do. I probably need to angle that down, but again, you can tailor it depending on what the weather's doing. But we've got that ridge pole, which I mentioned, located there. So you've got a really nice adjuster to get the extra tension into it. Reinforced corner points, and then you've got obviously a spike that goes in, and then I'll just use the guy rope to anchor that and keep that fabric firmly pressed against there. The poles actually clip into the edges, sort of just located there. So again, that works really quite well and breaks down quite small. As we're sort of looking into how it sits, not just how well it sits on the model itself in entirety. You know, you look at sort of the lovely PVC windows. It does splay out a little bit as well, which we'll have a look around the front, but you've got eyelets on the corner as well, so you can sort of stop it from shifting into the rail. But once it's under tension, I generally think it sits really quite well. We've got adjustment on the height as well as the feet have a pegging point, so you can obviously peg the leg in first to keep that rock solid. And as mentioned, you probably saw in the video, I was generally surprised on how structurally strong it was. But I think it just, all around, it looks really quite smart. Admittedly, I said it, same with Isabella, it's not necessarily always the cheapest thing, but in terms of how it's made, how it sits, and the quality you've got, it's a simplistic addition that generally I really like. It's been generally really popular as well, and the model's been out for a while, but it's not been often showed on a small little camper van. It's more shown on cameras. I think that's where a lot of people don't really appreciate you can utilise this really well with a camper, and then you can also fit it on your caravan as well. But it's for those person who, there are cheaper canopies like this in the market, don't get me wrong, but you don't have the durability, the fabric, the watertightness to the fine details of how it's been put together as you would with, you know, Isabella. There's a reason why you pay what you pay for it. You know, it's good quality. It's all made in Europe. If any issues, you're kind of, you know, pretty much covered. Their after-sale service on Isabella is absolute second to none. And once you have an Isabella, you don't often go for anything else. So just because you get used to all of that, kind of all of the above in that way. But yeah, any more questions, queries, of course, you're welcome to check out the link below. It'll take you through to a product. We've got our latest offers and prices on it. We've also done a pitching video showing you how it obviously pitches as well, so you can check that out as well. But it's always good to have feedback from you guys, be it good, bad, or indifferent. We always like to know what you think or what you're looking for or anything you'd like to see. So it's always greatly appreciated. And hopefully this in-depth detail a bit of it helps a little bit in making a decision whether it's the right product for you or not. So, but thank you very much for watching. Hopefully we'll see you again soon on our next Attwoolls Outdoors video review. And until next time, thank you.